This Sony Vegas Pro project demonstrates how to use the Timeline Tools add-in to create a slideshow that simulates the operation of an old mechanical slide projector. We'll start with a new NTSC 4:3 aspect ratio project. Most of our pieces of slide media will not fit properly in the 4:3 aspect ratio window, so we'll be performing an adjustment on them to make them fit. Let's take a look at the Timeline Tools About tab. This shows the version of Timeline Tools and the operating mode of Sony Vegas Pro that you're running. For this example project, I'm running the 32-bit version of Sony Vegas Pro 11 and Timeline Tools version 1.0.64. To begin creating our demo project, I'll be selecting several image files from the Sony Vegas Pro Explorer tab to be placed into a new video track on the timeline. Next, I have two audio clips. One contains the sound of a mechanical slide projector changing slides, and the other is the sound of a slide projector fan motor. Each of these audio clips will be dragged into their own audio track in the Vegas timeline. Before you can take advantage of the Timeline Tools add-in for Sony Vegas Pro, you must first save your Vegas audio and video configuration as a project. After you save your configuration as a project, all of Timeline Tools features become available for use. For this demo project, I've created a folder on my desktop where the Sony Vegas Pro project file will be saved. For this demo project, I'm giving it the name, Slideshow. From this point on, Timeline Tools becomes unlocked, and we can proceed to lay out our slideshow. Before continuing on, I want to make sure that my Vegas timeline is being displayed in units of seconds and frames. Many of the Timeline Tools settings can be made using either seconds or frames, and I prefer to use the more accurate choice of frames. What I've done here is expand the timeline out to show more precision in moving the timeline cursor. I'm going to position the cursor at 0, then count out 18 frames from the beginning of the track. This is where I'll be placing the first image file. To move the first image file, and all the others in the track, I'll use Vegas to select all media to the end of the track, then drag all the image files to the location 18 frames from the start of the track. The next step in our demo project is to duplicate the audio clip of the slide projector changing slides to be equal to the number of slide images we have in the project. We do this by right-clicking on the clip, selecting Copy, then pressing Ctrl-V 10 times to make 10 more copies of it in the same track as the original clip. Our project is now ready to start using Timeline Tools to lay out a slideshow. The first step will be to set all of the media to match the output aspect ratio of the project. This will eliminate the letter boxing black lines that appear on each side of the images. We do this by selecting the Timeline Tools, Markers/Regions tab. Then selecting to alter wide media only. These are image files that have wider than a 4:3 aspect ratio. We make sure to select all image files on the track, so none will be overlooked, then we press the Apply Changes button to make the image file displayed output adjustments. At this point we're now ready to lay out the image and audio clips in the Vegas timeline, in a manner that represents an old mechanical slideshow projector. For this we select the Track Tools and Option tab. To lay out the video track we start by locking the first event, to make sure the first image isn't moved. Next we'll click the Adjust Gaps, Event Length, Overlap and Fade Radio button to allow for maximum layout flexibility. Lastly we specify the event parameters for size, gap size, fade size and fade type. As you can see, the images have been moved and sized in the Vegas timeline. Next, We'll do the same to the multiple slide change audio clips. First we select the audio track, then apply the event size, gap size, and fade type parameters. With the slide change audio clips sized and positioned on the timeline to fit between the image clips, all that remains is to drag the length of the fan motor audio clip to be the length of our short demo project. And lastly, we can preview our completed project. This is how you use timeline tools to produce a slideshow that simulates an old mechanical slide projector presentation. Thanks you for watching.